Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new episode of the podcast. And today we will be talking about Wonder Woman 84. And we all know this movie's coming out on Christmas. And today is, what day is it? December 7th. We don't have that much long. And now we got some early reviews. So I've been waiting for the early reviews. And I'm actually getting a ton of nostalgia just feeling that vibe of finally going back to the theater to go watch this great film, or possibly great film. And you guys know the experience. You're hyped up for months on this film, and then you get the early reviews. The early reviews are either negative, positive, and then now you get even more hyped up or less hyped up. And then then you start seeing more footage, more commercials, more trailers. And then eventually you go to the movies and you enjoy a great film or bad film, whatever. But that's what I'm getting in my head right now. Yesterday and the day before, we were getting a ton of reviews for Wonder Woman 84 on Twitter. And all of them have been positive. I can't find any bad reviews. I went on Twitter. I tried looking for bad reviews. And as of now, I can't find any bad reviews. A lot of them have been saying, it's an emotional ride. They cried in it. And I'm going to read a few of the tweets. So let me go ahead and find some of them. And all of them have been insanely positive. I actually think this is going to be a great film. All right. So here's just a few that I'm going to read. This one comes from JoeBlow.com. Get up. I apologize, I can't pronounce her last name very well. Gadot perfectly captures the essence of Wonder Woman once again. Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig are brilliantly cast, and yes, Chris Pine's unusual and inspired return is a huge bonus, both with humor and heart. Wonder Woman 1984 is a joyful, thrilling, and engaging sequel, one that manages to connect that to what worked the first time around, and yet it's still uniquely its own thing, emotional, hilarious, and exciting, perhaps even better than the first Wonder Woman film. Alright, that sounded pretty good from JoeBlow.com. And here's one from Terry Schwartz. I was lucky enough to be among the first to finally get to screen Wonder Woman 1984. I adored it. The first Wonder Woman is my favorite of the modern DC films, and Wonder Woman 84 makes all the smart steps, telling a very human and very beautiful story for Diana Prince. Alright, that was great. Now this one's from Eric Davis. I'm so happy to report that Wonder Woman 84 is an absolute blast from start to finish, an exceptional compliment for the first film, and it's stuffed with heart, hope, love, action, romance, and humor. Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and team delivered one of the best DC sequels. I was in tears when it ended. Alright, I'm going to read this last one. I don't want to read too many, but this one's from Katie Burt. Wonder Woman 1984 made me cry several times, sometimes in the most unexpected of places. It's the only kind of superhero movie I have time for right now, one that can still see the beauty in our broken world and fundamentally believes it deserves saving. Wonder Woman 1984 tells us that our world deserves the kindness and empathy of a superhero like Wonder Woman. And in 2020, that feels like the most radical and necessary message of all time. Wonder Woman is the superhero we need and the one we deserve. Pass it on. And, I'm just going to give it one more, and this is coming from Brandon Davis, BD. I've seen Wonder Woman 1984. Patty Jenkins literally made an 80s movie in every way, making it so unique for today. It feels both bigger than the first Wonder Woman while simultaneously more contained. Lots of Diana Prince and some epic Wonder Woman moments as Gal Gadot literally soars. Alright, so those were some reviews I found. A lot of the reviews, I tried finding a bad review, but I couldn't find any negative review, and that to me, I've never seen that. I think the last time I saw something like that, where I couldn't find a single negative review, it was when Into the Spider-Verse came out, and we know I love Into the Spider-Verse, and I'll always debate this, but Into the Spider-Verse is the best comic book movie that's come out since 2018. Yes, it's better than Endgame, it's better than Infinity War, although Infinity War came before. It's better than Aquaman, it's better than Joker, it's better than Birds of Prey, because I love that film so much. And, it's all subjective, by the way. But Wonder Woman 84 has been a movie I've been really hyping up for such a long time. And for those that are new to the channel, I will be doing a review on it on Christmas. Like, the very minute I watch it, I will be doing a review. That day on Christmas, I'm going to be packed. I'm going to be making reviews of almost every movie. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Like, there's going to be lots of movies. Soul, Wonder Woman 84, and Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2. To be honest, I'm not too thrilled over Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. My nostalgia, get the best of me. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, Wonder Woman 84 so far has so many great reviews, and honestly, that to me makes me really, 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 really happy. I can't wait to see if Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins deliver. I think I've said this already, but the two Wonder Woman 84 trailers I've seen have looked really good. Specifically, that second trailer. The first trailer gave me more 80s vibes, although I'm not from the 80s, so I can't really say that. But yeah, the two trailers that dropped were actually pretty good, and all the reviews that I've read so far are just so good. And honestly, that's what I want to see. I remember I was nervous because back in December, I think there was an early screening for this film, and all the reviews were bad. They were all terrible. They were all, oh, Wonder Woman 84 is a bad movie. And, I guess something changed because I don't know why. Something happened, and now we got a new film that maybe will be great. I did say this thing though. I did say that Wonder Woman 84, to me personally, this is just my subjective opinion. To me personally, I don't think it's going to reach the same heights of the first Wonder Woman, because I think that first Wonder Woman is just so good, and it's my second favorite DCU movie, only behind Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. And yes, I do believe, in my humble opinion, that Wonder Woman is a better film than Man of Steel, just by a little bit. But I think, if anyone can deliver a great sequel, I think it's Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and the entire team that's working on this film. I remember before Wonder Woman, I had not known anything about Patty Jenkins. I did know her as the lady that rejected Thor: The Dark World, and I was like, why would you reject the Marvel movie? I watched Wonder Woman, and I'm like, I'm so glad she rejected Thor: The Dark World, or else we would have probably never have gotten this great Wonder Woman film. Her career would have probably been destroyed because of that Thor: The Dark World film. And honestly, to me personally, Patty Jenkins, after that first Wonder Woman film, she just gained my respect. Anytime I hear Patty Jenkins directing a film, I want to go watch it. And Wonder Woman 84 is just another example of that. I cannot wait. And, I still don't think it's going to be as good as that first film. That first film was just so good. Watching the trailers made me not think that it was going to win. But, either way, I don't know. I haven't seen the film. I can't tell you. I did find this clip yesterday on Instagram of a scene in Wonder Woman 84, and it was basically Diana, she's fighting some some of Maxwell Lord's military guys, and I saw the comments saying the visuals look terrible. To be honest, they don't look bad. They look pretty good. I think there was this part where the car turned invisible, so that to me did seem a bit. It looked weird to me. But not too many complaints. I know that sounded like a spoiler, but it's not. It was in the trailer. But yeah, there was also Wonder Woman running. A lot of people complain about how Wonder Woman was running. It looked like there was a green screen or something like that. But to me personally, that looked pretty good. But of course, it was someone recording from a TV, so I could be wrong. It could look terrible for all I know, but yeah, I just don't think it's going to be as good as that first one. That first one was just too good. But, I hope I'm wrong, because I always wish the best for every movie. And my prediction, this is just a prediction for me. My prediction is I think I'm going to leave the theater happy. Yes, by the way, I'm going to go to the movies because I want to enjoy that theatrical release. By the way, fun fact. I'm going to go on Christmas at 1 p.m. And and Fandango, as of now, the only seat taken are the ones me and the friend have at the moment, so I find that funny, taking the whole, all the seats, and that's if it stays like that, it's gonna be the first ever theatrical experience where no one is there. I do remember when Birds of Prey came out, the first Friday that it came out, me and two other friends went to go watch it, and the only other people there were like 4 girls who were behind us who threw a piece of paper at us, by the way. And it's funny, my friends were asking me, why do you even want to watch Birds of Prey? And I'm like, Birds of Prey looked like a fun film. And they were like, it looks girly. And I'm like, I don't really care. Girls go watch girls go watch male movies. Like, I know a lot of girls who watch Avengers movies, and most of the Avengers are guys. And they always ask me, it's like, why'd you watch Birds of Prey? And then I tell them, I mean, females go watch these blockbuster films that have men. I know I have female friends who like John Wick, and that surprises me. And they like Rambo, they like Rocky, and all of them have male leads. So I'm like, I mean, and then I'm like, I mean, I don't care what gender it is. As long as you deliver a great film and it looks great in the trailers. If the trailers look good, then you got me hooked. One thing I do have to complain about the Wonder Woman 84 trailer is it hasn't shown me a lot of what the story is. And that's a big no-no. Something I complained about when the first two Birds of Prey trailers dropped is I didn't know the story. The whole story of Birds of Prey is about, Cassandra Cain eats a diamond, and Harley Quinn has to take out the diamond because the diamond has all riches, or makes you rich. And Black Mass tells them to retrieve the diamond. In the trailers, you go watch those two trailers and you have no idea. You just assume that it's Harley Quinn having fun, and then that's it. The only reason why I knew that the diamond thing was going to happen is because I think I read some plot leaks before, and that it's funny. But Wonder Woman 84's trailers, as good as they look, one problem I did have is that they don't show you much of the story. They just say 80s, Steve Trevor comes back, Cheetah is involved, Maxwell Lord is the villain. And the second trailer, they did explain it more, because I remember in the first trailer, I was like, oh, we don't see Cheetah. We don't see what her design looks. We don't even see, her transformation. They just show, like, a very little of it. But in the second trailer, they showed a lot more Cheetah. And I was actually, when I first saw that first trailer, my biggest disappointment is we didn't get enough Cheetah. And I've always wanted to see what a Cheetah would be like in live action. And I think Kristen Wiig will do her really well. From the reviews, a lot of people have been saying Kristen Wiig is great in this film. And a lot of people complain about the CGI of Cheetah. And to me, that looks pretty good. It's like, that looks like a genuinely Cheetah female. It's like, to me, that seems like what a cheetah would look like. And a lot of people were worried if they were going to do CGI or non-CGI. I honestly wanted it CGI, because I don't just want to see a woman in a fur coat fighting. Although I do think we're going to see that near the middle or beginning, because remember, it's in the trailers. But yeah, the cheetah CGI looks pretty good. I don't know the complaints. For the most part, the CGI looks good in the trailers, and I don't see the big complaints. There was this one 30-second ad where it shows Wonder Woman, like, with the Golden Eagle armor slicing through a few bad guys, and that CGI does look really bad, but the rest looks pretty good. I see a lot of people complaining about the CGI already, especially for Cheetah. Then I'm thinking to myself, Cheetah was always going to get some bad rep, because she's a fully CGI'd character, and to me, I'm like, Cheetah looks pretty good. I don't know the hatred. I mean, she looks pretty comic accurate. It's like people always complain about comic accuracy, but the minute we get it, they start laughing about how silly it looks. And to me, I think if you want comic accuracy, then you've got it. I've always been a massive advocate for comic accuracy doesn't matter. To me, I just want a great film. As much of a comic book nerd as I am, and as much as I'm a geek, to me, all I care about is having a great story with great characters, with whatever. But yeah, Wonder Woman 84. I feel like my score, for those people who are planning on watching my review, which please go ahead, do it. If you are, please hit that subscribe button, put on the notification bells, and comment down below what are your thoughts on Wonder Woman 84. But for those that are going to plan on watching the reviews, of course you're going to want to hit that subscribe button with notification bells. But my prediction score for what I think my score for the film. Remember, the first Wonder Woman, I gave it a 9 out of 10. That's a pretty good score. But I feel like this film, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now, that's just a theory. And also, I got a Snapchat a few days ago. I gave a review for the newest Mandalorian episode and the newest Euphoria episode, because both came on the same day. And I gave I gave The Mandalorian a 5.5 out of 10, and I gave the Euphoria episode a 5.8 out of 10. I had this one friend ask me, it's like, how is that at least not average? And then I told him how my scores work. So I'm just going to go ahead and address my scores. To me, if you're above a 5, if I give a score that's a 5 or above, then it's good. It's good. Even if it sounds low. Like if I say it's a 5 out of 10, a 5 to me is good. But I do think it's barely above average. So if you're a 5, it's above average. It's just, if it's a 5 exactly, it's average. If it's a little above 5, then you're just barely above average. Then 6 is, okay, you're doing good. Then number 7, it's, oh, really good. Then number 8 is, ooh, super duper good. And then number 9 is phenomenal. And then number 10 is absolute masterpiece. And I rarely give films 10s. I guess my lower scale would be 0 is garbage, complete garbage. Number 1 is garbage but has one good thing going for it. Number 2 is garbage again, but it can improve. Number 3 is, alright, you're getting there, or more like eh. Number 4 is, okay, you're a bad movie, but you're close enough to being good. And then number 5, of course, to me, is the average. And sometimes I do say 5.5 or 5.1 or 4.6. To me, that's just to make the scores more exact. I do think keeping up with scores is pretty difficult, but I do think it helps let people know my opinion, because that's really what you guys want. And honestly, yeah, I get a lot of people asking me for my scores because my scores are really different. A lot of people assume that if it's a 5, it's bad. But to me, I think it's the opposite. But wait, hold on. Alright, apologize. I was checking my window because I just saw. Wait, no, I thought I heard a car pulling in, but man, I cannot wait for this Wonder Woman 84 film. I'm so genuinely hyped up. To me, Wonder Woman 84 seems like it's gonna be a great film with great characters. Another prediction I have is I think this movie is gonna make me respect Gal Gadot more as an actress, which that's really for every actor. The more I see them in great films or as great characters, Gal Gadot, I'm not gonna lie, before Wonder Woman, the first one, no, it was before Batman vs Superman, I had actually not known who Gal Gadot was. And I saw the Fast and Furious franchise. I just thought she was this one side character who was just there. And then I saw her, I'm like, I seem like when they first casted Wonder Woman, I was like, she seems familiar. Who is that? And then I found out that she was in Fast and Furious. So I'm like, oh, because before I actually didn't know. And then Batman vs Superman comes out. We didn't see much of her, but I still thought she was great in it. And then we saw her in her own solo film in Wonder Woman, and I was like, oh yeah, like she's a great actress. It's like I wish I had known her, or I wish I had been able to see more properties of Gal Gadot. But yeah, and Steve Trevor, Chris Pine, I've already said this. Chris Pine, to me, out of all the Chris's, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, all those other Chris's, I do think I apologize. I do think Chris Pines is the best acting wise. I do think he is a phenomenal actor, and I love him in so many movies. And Wonder Woman, I think he stole the show in that first Wonder Woman movie. How great of an actor he was, how great of a connection him and Gal Gadot had on screen. A lot of people get mad at me when I say this, but I think Chris Pine stole the show in the first Wonder Woman film. A lot of them, I remember a few days ago, someone called me sexist for saying that, because I talked to a lot of fellow film fans. They called me sexist for saying that he stole the spotlight. But this isn't disrespect to Gal Gadot. She's still great. She still carried the momentum of the film. In fact, I will say this: her acting was flawless in that film. The only thing is, Chris Pine, he's much more experienced. He's done, for me, the little amount of time, or not little, but the less amount of time that he was in, for me, it's just too memorable, and I think Chris Pine is just so good. And I was surprised when I think it was a behind the scenes image that Steve Trevor was in it, and I'm like, wait, what? Wonder Woman 84. Like, I knew Wonder Woman 84 was happening, but then I saw the behind the scenes with Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, and I'm like, wait, whoa, hold up. And to me, I was worried at first, because remember, in that first Wonder Woman film, spoiler alert, he sacrificed himself on the plane. And to me, that scene was very emotional, impactful, and it kind of like changes Diana's whole perspective on humanity. And I love that scene. And when I first heard that he was coming, as happy as I was that Chris Pine was coming back so I could see more of his Steve Trevor, because I just love his Steve Trevor, as happy as I was, I was left like, don't you think this might ruin the first film? He sacrificed himself, then he's coming back. And I knew they weren't just going to do a fake death thing. I felt like it was going to be like some kind of vision or some way he is brought back. Not that he existed during that whole time, because there's no way. Because Steve Trevor, Chris Pine looks younger in Wonder Woman 84 than he does in the first Wonder Woman. And imagine that time gap if he had actually managed to stay alive during that time period. Like, I don't know, but I can't wait to go enjoy this great film. Like I've said, I'm gonna do a review on it. So stay tuned on Christmas. Hit that notification bell if you really want to go ahead and hear my review, because I give an honest review, and I feel like I'm gonna be I'm gonna do a really early review. Like the minute I leave the theater, I'll probably try to review it. Like I'll grab my phone, I'll get the audio recording, and then I'm gonna put my phone like near my mouth, and then do my review there. So my Wonder Woman 84 trailer review, or not did I say trailer? I apologize. For my Wonder Woman movie review, I probably won't be using a proper mic like this one, so you guys might hear like fuzzy audio. And then let's not forget, I'm probably going to be in the theater parking lot. So please, please, please cut me some slack in that review. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you really like this video, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button with notification bells. Hit the like button also, and share this podcast with all your friends. My podcast so far has been doing super well, and I want to thank all of you guys for being a part of this journey. And I'm really trying to grow this channel. 72 subscribers. Oh my god. I did not expect that. Just a few months ago, I had 30 subscribers, and I did not think I was going to get more. But, we're on the road to 100. Gotta make things little. Of course, my main goal is always to reach 1,000 subscribers, but that is just a big goal. My small goal right now is 100 subscribers. So please go ahead, hit that subscribe button. It really helps. And go share this with all your fellow film fans. If you're a movie nerd, movie geek, then you're in the right place. So hit that subscribe button. It takes 1 second. And also, if you ever want to DM me, ask me any movie related questions, or just talk to me personally about movies, or even nothing that's movie related, then my Instagram is up here on the screen. Instagram, Isaac the Film Geek, as I upload daily film talk content, and I upload the best of the best movie talk show on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. great episode. But before we start, I'm gonna drink some water real quick. So before we start, please hit the subscribe button. It only takes 1 second. It makes a big difference to the channel and helps me provide you guys the best content possible. So today's episode is going to be an audio only. But wait, hold up. Before I talk, please share my videos, share my podcast, as I'm trying to help grow the channel, because I'm a big new movie nerd, movie geek. So if you're a movie nerd like I am, if you want movie reviews, movie news, movie podcasts, where I upload daily film talk conversations. Yes, that's right. Every day, at least one episode I upload. So if you're interested in that, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button. And anyways, we all know Wonder Woman 84 finally has an official release date, and that's going to be on Christmas in theaters and on HBO Max. So I personally have already bought my tickets. I'm going to go the first screening in my local theater. My local theater is surprisingly open. Well, I live in Texas, and in Texas lots of places are open. The pandemic here isn't as bad as, in LA or New York. And so, I decided I'm going to go ahead and watch this movie in theaters. All right, my bad. But I'm going to go ahead and watch this movie in theaters. I have HBO Max. I'm paying $15 a month. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, but if you're already paying $15 a month, why aren't you going to just watch it on HBO Max? The reason why is because I've already told people that I feel like the theatrical experience is going to be over soon. And, I feel like if us movie fans really want to help the theaters, then we should go out in theaters and go support it. And so I decided, why not go to theaters? I want to experience the theatrical release. I don't just want to be at home on Christmas to watch this film on TV. And I probably will in like a week after I watch it. I'm not even going to lie. If the movie's good, I probably will do that. But, I really want to experience this in theaters. And by the way, for those, I will be doing a review on it on Christmas. I think I'm going to drop 3 reviews because I was told Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2 will be releasing on Christmas. Then we also got Soul, and then especially Wonder Woman 84. So I'm going to do like 3 reviews on that day. So stay tuned if you want to have a review. I'm going to make a full, quick, honest review. And so on Christmas, I'm going to go watch it. But today's video is really going to be me predicting Wonder Woman 84. So I'm just going to say this right now. I haven't seen the movie. I have not seen any footage of it. All I've seen is the trailers, and then that's really it. So some of these things might come off as spoilers, but in the end, these are just predictions. I don't know what's going to happen in the movie. These are just my predictions. So if you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, then I guess you should click away, because like I already said, this won't be an actual spoiler discussion because I don't know the movie, but some of these predictions might come true. So if you don't want any spoilers at all, then click away. But before you do, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Kind of just help support the channel while you're at it. But anyways, let's get into the predictions. And my prediction, ever since the first trailer dropped, I thought to myself, it's not going to be as good as the first Wonder Woman. I'm just going to say that blindly. But I don't think it's going to be as good as the first Wonder Woman. And the reason why I say that is because I remember watching those first Wonder Woman trailers. I was so like, oh my god, I can't wait. I have to watch this movie now. Wonder Woman 84 is more like, oh, I'm hyped up to a point, but not really hyped up to what that first Wonder Woman trailer did for me. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is a bold prediction, but I don't think it's going to be nearly as good as the first one. I do think it's going to be a good film overall, but I don't think it's going to be as good. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I like it when movies do the best possible thing. And yeah, so another prediction I have is I do think Pablo Pascal as Maxwell Lord is gonna do really well. I do think he's gonna do really well. I think it's gonna be great. I think we're gonna love him. I mean, he's been doing a lot of things recently. I mean, he's on The Mandalorian. Let's not forget. So I feel like he's becoming bigger and bigger every year. Like just last year, I didn't really know him. All I knew him is the guy that was in the Wonder Woman 84 trailers. But then I watched Mandalorian again. And then I watched other films with Pablo Pascal in it. He's actually going to be in Shark Boy and Lava Girl 2. And I think he's a pretty good actor. So, honestly, I can't wait. Sorry. These get really tiring to talk about. But another prediction I have is I think Gal Gadot and Chris Pine both will be great in this movie. I think they're going to have great chemistry. And, I think it's going to be great. And, honestly, I like what the trailers have shown so far. I've said this so many times. One of the best couples in comic book movie history is the whole Princess Diana and Chris Pine's character Steve Trevor. their connection in the movie. I think they were one of the best parts of that film. And honestly, I think the same is going to be said for Wonder Woman 84 at the end of the day. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I leave satisfied by their relationship in this film. But, I'm hyped up either way to see what happens. And I think might be another bold prediction, but I do think Steve Trevor might be the best character in the movie. Simply because because in the first Wonder Woman, I will not lie, Chris Pine was the best part of the movie. And this is no disrespect to Gal Gadot. In fact, I will say this, Chris Pine's one of my favorite actors in Hollywood right now. I do think he's very underrated. But I do think he's going to outshine Gal Gadot again in her own movie. Not saying that Gal Gadot did bad. In fact, I'll say this right now. She did incredible in that first film, and she looks like she's going to do great in this film. But, I just feel like Chris Pine's going to steal the show again. I feel like he's going to be the one who takes the crown as MVP of the film. And, that's not me dissing on Gal Gadot. In fact, I'm giving her a ton of credit, because even with Chris Pine doing so well in that first film, she still was able to shine in that first film. I think the same will happen in this second film. But yeah, and another prediction that I feel like it's going to be a little obvious is that the movie will get the 80s vibe. So we're going to get a lot of music, maybe some Queen, maybe some AC/DC, or some 80s vibe. I listen to a lot of 80s music. I feel like a lot of the soundtrack from the Guardians of the Galaxy film might be in this film. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great. I do think that they're going to put a lot of music. And, honestly, I'm fine with that. I mean, the first trailer, the song was an 80s song, and I do think it will match the tone. I do think we will be getting that 80s vibe a ton. So, honestly, I personally am hyped up anyways. But yeah, I think it's gonna be for the best. I do think this is gonna be great for the movie overall. But another prediction I have is that we will be seeing Zeus pop a lightning bolt or something like that, because in the trailer we saw that was a prediction I had. But yeah, I do think that could be part of it. Another prediction is I think Cheetah will be in this movie relatively very little. I remember before the movie they were teasing how she's gonna be the main villain, and because Cheetah, she's kind of like Joker to Batman, how she's the main number one villain to Wonder Woman. And honestly, I've been hyped up for a lot to see what they do with this character, how it's gonna go. And honestly, I do think she's gonna be great in it, but I feel like she will be very limited, because honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I can only remember two scenes from the trailer. One was the mall fight, or museum fight, I don't know. And then the third one was when she's finally fully transformed, which I'm predicting is going to be the final battle, the third act, where she fully transformed and she's in the dark, wherever they are. But yeah, and my other prediction might sound a little obvious, but most people don't think this. And that is the whole Wonder Woman with the golden eagle armor. What do I think about that? I'm assuming what's going to happen is Wonder Woman starts losing more of her powers, and so now she becomes vulnerable to Cheetah's scratches. So she builds the Golden Eagle armor so she can defend herself. And another prediction is I feel like we're going to get a fish out of water story with Steve Trevor. Remember how in the first movie it was Wonder Woman, she was the fish out of water? I feel like they're going to do that, but this time with Steve Trevor, because remember in that first film, Wonder Woman had never been in the outside world. She had always been in the Amazons, while Steve Trevor, of course, is from England, and he's lived there. Now I feel like that's going to happen in this film, where Steve Trevor, of course, never existed in the 80s, so he doesn't know what the 80s is like. While Wonder Woman, she's adapted to the world, and she, of course, lives in the 80s. So I do feel like that's going to be a part of it, how they're going to kind of do the reverse thing from the first film. And honestly, that sounds cool. I'm all in for it. And I guess another thing I'm going to go ahead and predict is... I don't know what else to predict. There's a lot of things. I do think we're going to see the invisible jet. I remember there was this scene where Steve Trevor is flying on a jet, and he says something about how with my talent they'll never find us. And then Wonder Woman jokes about how there's a radar. I feel like somehow they turned the jet invisible, which I remember watching that first Wonder Woman movie. I never thought they would ever do in the trilogy, because there was rumors about there being a trilogy, especially with how well that first movie was received. I was like, yeah, there's for sure going to be a sequel. I was surprised that we're going to get the invisible jet. I remember I saw it in the trailer. I'm like, oh, we might actually get the invisible jet. That I thought was never going to be seen in any Wonder Woman movie.
yeah, another thing I do think we'll see is that Cheetah and Wonder Woman will both be friends at the beginning. I feel like Cheetah, she's gonna be like that one ugly girl that no one ever talks to, which is funny because the only difference I see is glasses. I guess she takes off her glasses and puts on that black thing under her eye. I mean, I don't see any difference. I mean, she still looks like a regular woman to me, even when she transforms to Cheetah. Or not that full Cheetah, but when she's looking like a predator Cheetah. I don't know, but I do think they're gonna be friends. And I feel like her selfishness is going to get the best of her because she's jealous of how Wonder Woman is seen by everyone as this beautiful young lady while she's seen as ugly and she gets nothing. I mean, even in the trailer, they reference that. So I think that's how it's going to be made, how Cheetah and her are friends at the beginning, but then they become enemies based off the fact that she doesn't like how Wonder Woman is perceived. So I do think that's going to be part of it. Um, I think this one is also obvious because we've already seen the scene, but I feel like part of the movie, maybe the most part of the movie, is going to take place in Washington, D.C. The reason why I say that is because there was a scene where she's running at Washington, D.C. Yeah, and I guess another prediction I have is that she's going to fight the military in some form or way because we've seen her like push the tanks or something like that. I honestly don't know how. Like, I don't know what the story really is going to revolve around, but I do think the military is going to be part of it, but I don't know how, honestly. Like, I can't sit here and tell you that the military want to kill her because she's a goddess-like figure, so I honestly don't know. What other predictions do I have? Honestly, I think I'm all out of predictions. Honestly, oh man. All right, I apologize. My mic had some issues. I apologize if my mic's had issues the whole day. Me adjusting the mic level is kind of tough, honestly. And what other prediction? I apologize. I need to get a pop filter for my podcast to improve it. So I really apologize. Another thing, I don't think we're gonna get any references to any other DC projects that aren't Wonder Woman. Maybe in the post credit we might get a teaser to that third film or the Amazon spin-off series. Honestly, I don't know, but remember how in that first Wonder Woman the full story was basically her writing to Bruce about what her story is. I don't think we're gonna see that in this film. I don't think we're gonna get any mentions of Batman, Superman, whatever characters. Mostly because this all takes place before the DCU ever began in the 80s. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any other DC characters referenced. Of course, if they're Wonder Woman, like Wonder Woman villains or Wonder Woman characters, then yeah, of course. I mean, it's a Wonder Woman movie. That's like having a Batman movie and we don't mention Commissioner Gordon. It's like we obviously kind of have to mention it. But any other predictions I have, I honestly can't tell you. Let me think real quick. I should have probably written all these things down. I mean, that's what my podcast has always been. Don't know why I'm not doing that now, but apparently I don't do it now. But what other thoughts do I have? What other I can't think of anything else. But yeah, that's my whole prediction. I guess my final prediction is whether I think this movie's gonna be good or not. I think this movie's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be one of the best DC movies. I don't think it's gonna be in the level of BVS Man of Steel or the first Wonder Woman specifically. I think I've said this already, but I don't think that first Wonder Woman movie can be topped. That's not me being offensive or rude. That's just me because that first movie was just so good. I just love that film, but seeing the trailer, seeing the marketing, I honestly don't think it's gonna be nearly as good. That's not a bad thing because that movie is just so good. It has such high standards. If it even reaches to 30% of the level of that first film, or well, not 30%, that's too low. If it even reaches to 50%, then I would honestly, give it credit. So you guys who are going to watch my future review, which I'm going to count on you guys to do. I'm counting on all you guys to support that video on Christmas when I drop it. My prediction score that I'm going to give it is a 6.5 out of 10. I do think the movie's going to do all right. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think I'm going to have fun in theaters. I think I'm going to leave happy. I can't wait to go enjoy me some good popcorn, go watch a great flick. I hope Maxwell Lord is great. I hope Cheetah is great. I hope everyone in the movie is great, even the extras. Another prediction that I'm going to have is this is the whole HBO Max theater thing. And we all know the movie is going to be released in theaters and HBO Max. I do think this is the beginning of the death of cinema. And my prediction is box office score in theaters is going to do really badly for many things. Number one, it's released on Christmas. Now, I don't think this is going to be a big factor, but I do think it's a small factor. So opening day money isn't going to be that much. unless you're like an idiot like me who goes on Christmas, then then probably you will go on Christmas. But for the most part, I don't think most people are. Even one of my friends who's a big DC fan said that you just can't on Christmas, and he's gonna go on Boxing Day, which is the 26th. And I even after that, I don't think it's gonna do well because first, there's two things. Number one, lots of people are afraid of leaving their house, understandably. Number two, LA and New York, they both still have their theaters closed, and those are the two biggest marketing places in all America. And I don't even know if most Chinese theaters are open. Let's not forget there's also a lot of other theaters in America that aren't open, whether it's in like big cities or small cities. Personally, where I'm from, in the small city I'm from, they're like my two closest theaters are open, which is great. But I don't think overall it's gonna do great. And theatrically, I think it's gonna do very badly money wise. I definitely think that. I don't think this movie's gonna do well money wise, and that's not me being rude. I just think it's just there's no way around me to say that. I hope in a dream world, I don't think this is gonna happen. I in fact, I give this only a 2% chance. I give it a 2% chance that this movie does really well in theaters. Let's say makes a good 800 million in theaters. That to me would be surprising, and if it does, then theaters are saved probably. On HBO Max, I think it's going to do really well, though. Lots of people are going to see, oh, they're giving us a theatrical movie. That's great. That's great. Then other people, maybe they'll see this and be like, oh, we get Wonder Woman for $15, but not only $15, we also get a ton of this library. We get Friends. We get Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We get Euphoria. We get the entire all DC movies. We get all these cartoons. We get all this. So $15 for all that, and including a movie that was supposed to come out in theaters. I mean, a big blockbuster film, of course. And I think a big part that will help out this film on HBO Max, maybe theatrically, is that this is a superhero movie. This is a Deadpool film. We haven't had the real test. I know some of you can say, what about New Mutants? What about Tenet? Let's be real. Nobody cared about New Mutants. Not even us Marvel fans cared. Like, I only went to go watch it because of the popcorn, but, or experience the theater. Fans saw that and didn't look interested. And then you can use Tenet as the excuse. But then again, a lot of the fans aren't like us who, when we hear Christopher Nolan's going to make a film, we automatically go to the theaters. Most of the fans don't care about that. They're like, oh, director, all you're doing is taking a job. And for me, a comic book film really needs to be the first one out of the water, or the first fish out of the water, and I think Wonder Woman 84 will prove its worthiness. I don't think the theatrical results can really matter that much because, let's remember, this is only on HBO Max, and HBO Max exclusive, or not just HBO Max, but in theaters. So I do think on HBO Max is going to do really well, but theatrically I think it's going to do poorly. And I like I said, 2% chance that this movie does really well in its theatrical run. Like I said, HBO Max, I do think is going to get them a ton of subscribers. And let's remember, they canceled the whole 7-day free trial thing because of Wonder Woman 84, because they can't just risk letting people watch this film for free, because that would be stupid. Like, at least pay the $15. And honestly, I can't wait. I'm going to watch this movie in theaters, like I said, opening day. Maybe the next week watch it in HBO Max because, maybe if the movie's that good, I'll go ahead and watch it again. But anyways, that's going to be my prediction, my final score. If my prediction score is going to be a 6.5 out of 10. But anyways, let me know down in the comments, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to be the score? Do you think you're going to love this movie? Just predictions. Don't be biased, but just predictions on the trailers. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be like the best movie ever? Do you think it's going to be the worst movie ever? I don't know. That's your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching this podcast, another episode of the podcast. We finally got multiple episodes on here. My episodes are getting longer and longer per day. Today's episode, I didn't want it to drag longer because I have something to do later today. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for being able to take the time out of your day to watch this podcast. I am planning on doing two things. I'm planning on making these longer, and I'm also planning on getting some guest stars. I've had some friends to talk to. I've told them about the podcast, how this is a movie talk show. How if you ever one day want to talk about movies someday with me, then we can be on the podcast. I'll give you a shout out. You can plug your Instagram, whatever. So anyways, if you're one of my friends, only if you live around me. I really don't want to do the whole Skype virtual thing, because honestly I think that's too complicated. If you're a friend, live around me, then hit me up to be on a podcast show. Like, I've already had a few ask me, and I'm gonna go ahead and accept anyone if they want to, even if you're not the biggest movie fan. This can be a cartoon or TV or whatever, because honestly all I want to do is grow the channel, make this the best possible show on YouTube. And please hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second. And also, I'm also planning on buying a webcam, so that way it's not just audio only, because I do feel like audio only might be a little boring to some of you. But yeah, I am planning on not just expanding it from audio only. I am also thinking of putting this show on Spotify and iTunes, but I don't think it's gonna be that successful. I am thinking about it though, so just stay tuned. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk about movies, or if you just want to be on the next show. Comment down below your thoughts on the Wonder Woman. Do you think it's gonna be great? Do you think it's gonna be bad? I don't know. Overall, I think it's gonna be a great movie. I think it's gonna be one I have fun with. I don't think it's gonna be as good as Wonder Woman. But anyways, comment down below your predictions. Follow me on Instagram, Isaac the Film Geek. Hit that subscribe button. It only takes 1 second. Hit the like button, and also share this with your fellow film fans. So thank you guys for watching, and peace.